Okay, so we have this list of numbers here that we have to put in this Venn diagram over here. So by looking at the Venn diagram, we have to fill up integers, which are all your positive and negative whole numbers, your rational numbers, which are numbers that can be written in fractions, and of course we have our irrational numbers. So let's start with 25 here. So 25 here is a rational numbers and they belong to the integer family. So I'll just write it down over here. And for this one, it's a decimal number. To be specific, it is a terminating decimal and it can be written as a fraction. So it will be a rational number over here. And this one, a square root of 2, that's a third, and that's an irrational number. So I'll put it in this space over here. Cube root of 8, which will actually give me 2 if you simplify it. So that's an integer. So I'll write this down over here. Okay. Now this one is a mixed number, which is a fraction, and all fractions are rational number. So I will put this over here. So the next one we see here, which we have recurring decimals. We can see there's a repetitive pattern over here, and this can be written down as a fraction. So it is a rational number, which I will write it over here. And with next we have a pi over here. A pi, it's an irrational number. Over here, if you notice in this fraction, we have an irrational number divided by the same irrational number. By simplifying this, we will get 1, which is actually an integer. So we will write this over here. Okay, this one, at first glance, we will think that it's a third, but the thing that you all have to consider if you can simplify the square root. So let's do this question over here very quickly. So square root of 0.25. So I can change this into a fraction. So I will get 25 over 100. And based on this, I can simplify this to 5 over 10. Alright, 5 over 10 is the same as 0.5. So this is actually an rational number. Okay, for the next one, this one, same thing. At first glance, you would think that's an irrational number, but ask yourself this question, can this be simplified? So if you square root both the numerator and the denominator, you will find out you will get 3 over 4, which is a rational number. So this is also a rational number. Next one, I have an irrational number plus a rational number. That will always give me an irrational number. Next one, we do have a decimal number here which goes to infinity and there is no patterns over here. So we know that this is also an irrational number. Okay. And finally, for these two, they are both in standard form, and standard forms are basically just terminating decimal. So both of these falls under rational number.